Skills here. And we're going over A Quiet Place, day one. So, the first Quiet Place, fucking loved. Second Quiet Place, I loved even more. Third Quiet Place, we're going to see. So, the first two follow this family, right? John Krasinski and his wife and his kids. And then the second one, still the family and what happened, because of the consequence of the first one and now leading to the second one. And the second one, they figured out kind of how to beat these monsters and all this stuff. So I thought this one, like most people, we were going to find out, where they come from, what they're doing here, what their purpose is. But for the most part, we don't really figure anything else out about these creatures. So I'm okay with that. I'm just like, okay, so they're just like animalistic. They landed here by accident. They're just like, hey, we don't like noise. Fuck y'all niggas. Shut the fuck up. Which is okay. Anyway, let's go with the review. So, story, plot, and premise, I did enjoy. It's not as good as the first two, in my opinion, but I did enjoy how they took the aspects of those movies and put it into this movie. This would be, in my opinion, the least quiet of the Quiet Place franchise. They do talk a lot in this movie. They find ways, under rainfall and fire, there's from the sewer. It's New York, so there's a lot of noise that even if there aren't people around, there's still going to be a lot of noise. So you'll find ways to talk around stuff. And so they find a way to talk, and they talk they do. I enjoyed the movie, though. I'm going to talk a little bit, spoilers, towards the end, just about the story, plot, and premise, and why I think I enjoyed it a little more than most people did. But still, again, not as much as the first two. But we'll talk about that. Anyway, sound design and score, really good. Really good. When it's quiet, it's quiet. When it's loud, it's loud. When it's getting loud, when there's creepy little noises, sound design score's great. Cinematography, really well done. Really well done. I felt like we were in New York, and New York was under an alien attack. It was really good. Acting, very well done. Acting, in my opinion, carried this movie more than the storyline, more in the story and the premise. The acting really sold it for me because, again, most people, including myself, were going into this movie thinking, okay, we're gonna see the first real attack, and it's gonna be kind of action all the time because nobody knows that they're supposed to be quiet. And for the most part, it wasn't initially, but then towards the rest of the movie is really pretty much like the first two movies, which is characters developing, talking slowly, figuring out who they are and why they're there and how they survived and all this stuff. And it's like, I wasn't expecting that on day one. I was expecting, hey guys, but again, there is action in it. I'm not saying there's no action in it. I'm just saying acting is really what carried the movie. And Lupita Nyong'o and the guy from Stranger Things did a really good job selling the movie. And the cat did a great job. Directing, really well directed. I would have gone in a different direction. So that's all I'm going to say. So I'm not going to give it full points for directing. So I'm going to give it a half point. Because, again, with what they did, it was okay, but I would have gone a completely different direction. So I'm going to go with a 4.5. 4.5 out of 5 for this movie. And join me for the spoilers, will you? Spoilers. So, the reason that I think the story, plan, premise, the story faltered is because we were expecting either to learn about the creatures, to see the military or the humans first response to the creatures be, let's attack, let's whatever, and us lose. Ultimately, we lose. We know this, but it's like seeing the fight. And that would have been interesting. And maybe in the fourth one, they'll do something like that where, we see a soldier, with a whole platoon of people, and he thinks we're going to win, and then eventually they lose, and he escapes, and maybe he makes it to this island that Digimon Houseu makes it to. They figure out how to kill these things, and he's like, all right, we're going to form a battalion, and we're going to fight back, and now we're going to win. And then that'll be the redemption for that character. That'd be great. That'd be a great story maybe for the fourth one. For this one, the way that they focused on it, and the reason I think I enjoyed it a little bit more than most people, it is because I took it as, so Lupita Nyong'o's character, Lupita Nyong'o, she's dying of cancer. We know this basically in the initial, she's with these elderly people, she's with basically people that are almost gone. And this nurse is taking care of her, he's very nice to her and all this stuff. And she's like, I just want to get pizza. Because she knows there's not long for this world, bro. I just want to get a pizza so that I can at least have that before I die. And then this alien attack happens. Wipes out everybody. The nurse guy dies. She's like, no, fuck this. I'm going to die regardless, whether these monsters kill me or not. I'm going to go get my pizza. And that's her mission, which I am on board with. That is a great mission to go to Harlem, get a fucking pizza. That's great. But along the way, she meets this kid. I say kid, but I think they're around the same age. But he, the kid from Stranger Things, he's Eddie Brunson from Stranger Things. He, in my opinion, I thought he was suicidal. Like, he was not wanting to live his life. He talked to her a little bit. The only thing we know about his backstory is he's by himself in New York. He was supposed to be a doctor or something, and his parents kind of were like, yeah, be a doctor or you're nobody or whatever. And so he felt like a nobody, in my opinion. And I thought he was like, hey, let me help this person with her goal, because I have no goals. I have no life of my own. I have no will to live. Then at some point where they're like in the water and they're like under the sewer or whatever, and they're in the water, he starts screaming or whatever. I thought it was to attract the monster because I thought he wanted to die. And, this girl's like, no, my mission's not done yet. Shut the fuck up. It's not time yet. I know you want to die, but like, that's what I got out of it, right? Through their conversations, this is never mentioned. So, but it's just something that I don't know, I inherently felt. But then through him helping her, achieve her goal of getting that pizza and finally being able to get a pizza and sit in New York and just chill and listen to her music and be okay. Through that goal, he saw that her willingness for life and the fact that she's not going to be able to live out her life is the reason for him to want to live his. That's what I got from it. So the fact that she gave him the cat and is like, here, take care of my cat, live, right? Live. This is good for you. Live. Don't be like me. Don't give up. Live. Like, you have actual things that you can do. I don't have anything left. And I really enjoyed that. And in the end, she obviously dies or whatever, or chooses when she dies, let's put it that way. And he gets away and he gets in the ship and whatever. And I feel like that last leap of him, diving into the water and away from the creatures is him leaping into life, like him accepting, okay, I want to live. Whereas before, he kind of, I feel like he lucked in. We don't know how he got out of the water, like what was happening to him in the subway, whatever. He got out the water and he was like, hyperventilating about whatever happened to him. But basically, I feel like he got away from death accidentally, and he's just like, why am I alive? Why am I special? Why do I deserve to live? And so throughout the movie, he realizes, okay, this is why I want to live, right? Anyway, I understand why a lot of people don't feel attached to his character. He came in kind of halfway through the movie. And again, there is dialogue, but not that much dialogue. So it's kind of hard to get into the development of why these characters are doing these things. Why is she helping him? Why is he helping her? Why, because of a cat told them. And it's not really that, at least in my opinion, that's not what I got from it. But I understand why people would see that and be like, it's kind of a forced family, and it's not really a, these characters shouldn't really care about each other, and why should I care about these characters? So I get why people would basically say, that they didn't develop them, well enough for us to care about the characters, at least in that way, especially, Eddie Brunson's character in this, because Joseph Quinn has his name, because of Joseph Quinn's character, he came out of nowhere, and so it's like, why should we care or whatever? But I feel like they did their work to get us there, and again, not the best, but a very good movie still. So, I already gave it my rating. Let me know what you guys think down below about my theory, about what they could do with the next one, about any of this stuff that I've said. And this has been another useless skill.